Welcome back to the It Girl Playbook. Today we'll be continuing our series, It Girl Lessons from It Girls, where we explore the allure of some of our favorite iconic It Girls and see what it is that makes everyone so obsessed with them. By better understanding what makes them so magnetic, we can be inspired to adopt some of their most attractive qualities and values into our lives so that we can level up as well. In today's lesson, we'll be learning from Paris Hilton to explore the blueprint of modern fame and the power of reclaiming your narrative. Before TikTok stars and Instagram models, before the term influencer even existed, Paris Hilton was already doing it. You could say that she was the original influencer during a time when that wasn't even considered a legitimate career path. At the time, people dismissed her as just another wealthy party girl, labeling her as shallow, vapid, with fame handed to her. But what they failed to realize was that Paris wasn't just part of the pop culture movement, she was creating it. Paris didn't just stumble into the fame, she was strategic. She understood that image is everything, and so she curated a persona so distinct that it became her brand. Other celebrities are known for a skill, whether it be acting, singing, sports, etc. But for Paris, fame itself was her talent. She was famous for being famous. The velour tracksuits, the tiny dogs, the oversized sunglasses, every single detail was intentional. With her signature phrase, "That's hot," she proved that personality and branding could be more influential than traditional talent. For Paris, we learned that in order to build a strong personal brand or influence, it's essential to remain visible and consistent. Paris understood this before anyone else, and that is why she never faded into the background. She kept showing up, whether it was on red carpets, in tabloid headlines, or on reality TV. She made sure that the world saw her. But she didn't just show up everywhere. She showed up as Paris Hilton. Her ability to maintain a consistent persona across all platforms holds a lot of value because while fame may come and go, personal branding doesn't. This teaches us a key lesson that sometimes the power behind building fame is simply showing up and doing it consistently. Consistency makes people trust you, even if the version of yourself you're showing up as is carefully curated. And here's the thing, the same thing is true for personal growth. When you first start showing up as your higher self, maybe you're softer, more confident, or more assertive, whatever the case may be, it may feel like you're pretending at first, and people around you may even say, "Hey, you've changed." And you have, but that's the point. And if you keep showing up and consistently present yourself as that higher version of yourself, people stop questioning it, and so do you. You may even start to believe it. It will slowly become a part of who you are, even if it started out as an act. So whether you're curating your personal brand or curating your personal life, remember, showing up matters, but how you consistently show up matters just as much. Going back to Paris Hilton's personal brand, she also demonstrated a different path to building influence, and that is riding the tide instead of fighting it. In a world that loves to judge and put people in boxes, Paris proved that you don't always have to fight the labels people place on you. While others try to box her into the mold of the rich, superficial heiress, Paris turned those very assumptions into her entire brand. She exaggerated the very traits people mocked, wore some on t-shirts, and use it as fuel to build a global brand that's still one of the most recognizable to this day. Paris didn't fight the tide, she rode it, and by doing so, she created a legacy. Her ability to take what was supposed to be a weakness and turn it into an empire shows us that sometimes you can win by losing. You don't need to prove everyone wrong. You can use their perceptions to fuel your success. I let my dad think I'm a bad driver, so I don't drive when I'm with him. I let my brother think he's stronger than me so that I don't carry anything when I'm with him. I have this friend and she was telling me how her partner always tries to argue that he is a better cook, and one day she just agreed with him and said, "You know what? You're right, I'm not that good in the kitchen," and almost every meal he cooks for her. Not everything is a fight worth fighting. And Paris taught us the same lesson, that true power lies in owning what others try to use against you. And by doing so, you can turn those very things into your greatest greatest strengths. This is exactly what Paris did, and it's what made her one of the most influential women in the world. And yet, despite her massive influence, she was constantly underestimated, which brings us to the next part of her story, how she took back control of her narrative. For years, the world saw Paris Hilton as the ultimate dumb blonde. She was underestimated, mocked, and written off as nothing more than a ditzy socialite. She leaned into that persona also, playing it up for the cameras, delivering iconic one-liners like, "What's Walmart? Do they sell walls?" The media painted her as an airhead, a party girl, someone who was famous for no reason. But what they failed to realize was that Paris knew exactly what she was doing. She was running businesses, creating brands, and making calculated moves that most people didn't give her enough credit for. But the moment that truly changed the public's perception of her came in 2020 with the release of her documentary, This Is Paris. For the first time, she dropped the act and shared her real story, the trauma she endured at boarding school, the abuse she faced, and the emotional toll of being trapped in a persona the world expected her to maintain. Suddenly, the world saw her not as a shallow heiress, but rather a business mogul and someone who had been in control all along. She played the role that the world expected of her, but now she was rewriting her story. The brilliance of Paris Hilton isn't just that she defined an era, it's that she evolved beyond it. She took what could have been a fleeting moment of fame and turned it into a lifelong legacy, and that's hot. Her story teaches us that if you don't define yourself, the world will do it for you. Paris spent years letting people assume that she was just an airhead, but when she decided to speak her truth, she took back that power and was able to rewrite her narrative. And this is something that we can apply to our lives as well. People will always create narratives about you, whether it's in your personal life, your career, or your overall reputation. But the moment you decide to take control of your own story, you shift that power dynamic. You get to decide how you are seen, what you stand for, and what you allow people to know about you. Of course, there are still some people who still see Paris as the ditzy socialite, just like not everyone will see you as the version of yourself you want to present. You may even be a villain in some people's story, and that's okay. You're not going to have everyone agreeing, but enough people will, and that should hold enough value. Paris's story is a reminder that reinvention is always possible. No matter how the world perceives you today, you have that ability to change the narrative tomorrow. Paris Hilton isn't just a pop culture moment. She's a case study in reinvention. What started out as a carefully curated persona became a global empire, and what the world once dismissed as surface level turned out to be one of the most strategic careers in modern entertainment. Her story proves that being underestimated can be a powerful advantage. While people were too busy laughing at her, she was laughing her way to the bank, building brands, launching businesses, and shaping the influencer culture that dominates today. But beyond the fame, the pink aesthetics, and the signature catchphrases, Paris Hilton's true power lies in control. Control over her image, her career, and ultimately her own narrative. She played the role people expected of her, but when it was time, she flipped the script on her own terms. If there's one lesson to take from Paris, it's this. Your image is yours to define. You don't have to fit into the box that people put you in. Even if it may benefit you to do so in the moment, it doesn't have to stay that way. And whether the world sees your potential or not, you still hold the power to create your own legacy. That's it for today. Thank you for tuning in. I hope to see you in the next one. And in the meantime, as always, stay hot. Bye.